All right, guys. This is Josh Manck at A&M Commerce, and what I'm going to show you to do is some data merge stuff in InDesign. I use this a lot with our football recruiting because we do a lot to help convince kids to that A&M Commerce is their college home, and so when they come on their official visit weekend, the thing you'll see here on the left, we make a credential that we get printed at a local printing company that helps ID them as a recruit and helps people who don't know them identify them by name. We also make, as you'll see here, nameplates. We print these in our local copier, laminate them, and throw them in the nameplate area of a locker. Then also, if they commit to come here, they get a graphic that our coaches distribute to them that shows they're committed to come here, and they can brag about it on social media, as we all know and love here on social media these days. So all this is done in Excel and InDesign with the exception of creating the graphic. I do that in Photoshop. Right here, you can see I've got a list of, I'm going to use only our signees just so I don't get in trouble with anybody's compliance here. It's got first, last, position, number, and high school. These are the fields that we use across all three documents. That way I can generate all these things quickly. An important thing here to have is to have the headers that you want that are going to be your different variables in InDesign. And then when you save it, you want to make sure that you save as a CSV file. I've noticed in a Mac, there's two options here for CSV UT8, and there's regular CSV. I use regular CSV, and it has given me fewer issues over time. So we've got that there. That has everything. Don't worry about it. These numbers are all made up. I did do some duplicate numbers, even though if my coaches do that, I will fight them. So I have three documents here. This one is for the graphic. As you can see, I've got the fonts set the way I want. The important part here is you're going to want to go to Window, Utilities, and Data Merge. Data Merge is the thing you want to have. And then I always drag mine. I use it enough. I put it over here, and it looks like this, a little paper with a gear and an arrow, which is an icon for Data Merge. If you want to start from scratch here, I'm going to make this one just me, just so I can show you how you place your fields in a document. I'm going to say that I'm a quarterback because I'm awesome. We're going to go, I went to Awesome Town High School. So you set it up once with how you like it. I've got different text fields here. This graphic right here, that I've got created in Photoshop, as you can see there, with how I like the blocks and how I've got that in the blank field. You're not dealing, so that's just a background essentially. So you've got your name here, and you go to your data merge. You click this little bar icon there, choose select data source. I'll put all these in one file to make it easier. That's my data source right there, is that signeelist1.csv. You click open. Delimiters, commas, really don't have to deal with anything there. And here, right here, you'll see your list of your variables. So I'm going to make that first name, highlight it, and click that, and it changes to that. If that's in a different font, this font doesn't happen to have the gator teeth as a font option, but that's what it shows up as, is those gator teeth right there. So there's first, last, number, and I've also learned that you don't want to put a period in your headers. The CSV file doesn't like that. Your position, and your high school. All right, so that's what it looks like. If you want to see how that'll look like with your data set there, click preview right here, and then you can use these arrows right here to click through and see what it looks like. We've got a few there. So this is one that I'm going to be saving a JPEG. The credential, as you can see, the gator teeth make the font go out of bounds on that one, and my font size as well. But they're there. You can see that I've got the overset text icon there. So this one I'm printing to a PDF with bleeds, and this one I'm printing to a multiple data set on one regular PDF. The numbers here, as you can see, it's just tight, and I've got my overset text. So the easiest one here will be this, since I'm making, this is one I'm just making with bleeds and sending to the printer. thing you want to do here is create merge document. It's right here to the right of your file title. Hit create merge document. We got records, multiple record layout, and options. This one, these all need to be on a single page, and so that's what I'm going to do. Hit OK, let it do its business, give it a second, and there you go. It'll show you every time you do this, when you create a merge document, if you have anything with overset text. This guy has a longer name on page 7. So I'm going to go to my pages, page 7. There you go. And you can see you've got your overset text right there. And then you can mess with your kerning or however you want to do it to make it fit. Do a file, export. I have high quality with bleed set as a preset because that's how I print enough stuff. Credential master 1, save, all. Give it a second. And it is creating your PDF in the background right now. This one takes a second because, as you saw in our Excel file, we signed 53 kids this year. So it takes a minute. But there you go. We've got all your credentials for your entire thing to send to your printer, with everybody's personalized name, number, and everything from one Excel document that hopefully, if you're lucky like me, your coaches have done. Same type of thing here for your commit template for if your coaches, my coaches will want this as a JPEG to be able to give to a kid so that they can post it on social media. So off, hit records, it's going to make all records. It's going to make a new Indesign document with that. I have 3 with overset text, 17, 35, 17. And you can manipulate that however you want. This is obviously your taste. I don't remember what the other one was that I saw, but it doesn't matter for this. So this one, you've got this document here. Now you're sending this one to JPEG instead of PDF. Go to File, Export. What you want it called. I'm going to make a new folder just so that they're not all in. I want to keep these separate because it's going to make each one a JPEG. And they're all going to be numbered. So you do save here. It'll give you your options. Choose all, high 72 since you're not printing, RGB, etc. You can choose your different options here. Export. And it doesn't even take very long. Give it some time, go look at your folder, and you will see them populating as you go. And now you've got all your commit graphics. I usually do this in Dropbox, share the Dropbox folder link with my coaches so that they can save it. I'm not emailing them 75 or however many different commit graphics because that could change. Now the interesting one that I really like in InDesign, because I think both of these you could do in Photoshop. Both of those you could do in Photoshop, similar to what Chris Sabato showed you. The one I like in InDesign is, especially if you're printing on your local printer and it's something that you're just going to use, and you're going to cut it up in-house. So these are 2x10. That's the width and height of our locker nameplate areas in our locker room. So you go to data merge. I've already got signee list. I've got my variables set here. Go to preview. You'll see that there's a few as it is, but as you can see, there's only one on each page, and I set it up. But if I had, for instance, set it up, there's going to be 3 of these on each page. If I'd set it up like so, and just laid out all 3 on each page, you go to preview, well, you're getting 3 of the same guy on each page, which is not what you want. So I'm going to undo here. I'm just doing a quick undo. So I've got back to 1 now, just the 1. When you go to Create Merge Document, hit Multiple Record Layout right here. Now, I like to do this with the preview settings here. This is presets. I'm going to show you what it would do. Normally, it does, actually that's not correct, but you want your margins, it's 1/2 inch margins. This is the part that doesn't normally show up. You want rows first, columns first. You can mess with this. I like it that way. It's easy for my coaches to cut up and all that stuff. You can change your distance between rows right there. So you've only set one document up. If it's at 0, 0, which is, if I remember right, what the what InDesign gives you as a default, it's going to slam them all together like that. But as you can see, you've got 1, 2, 3 per page. Here, I just do that, do a little clickety-click until I get it where I want. It makes my margins. It's easy for the coaches to cut up with a paper cutter, and it's not anything I have to deal with. And if you can go through your preview, and it's got all those laid out. Hit OK. It'll give it a second. As you can see down here, you've got one overset on page 3. There he is. Let's make him. There you go. Just took one little click. There you go. File. Export. Go high quality print is a preset on mine. This one we're doing no bleeds because we're just printing to the local printer here on a regular piece of paper. Give it a second. As you can see in your background text, sometimes it can take a little bit. Wish it was moving a little bit quicker for the purposes of this video. But then it will crank it out in Acrobat in just a second. Sorry guys, this is taking a little bit longer than I thought because it's a big file and it's also creating with the distances and everything that it's calculating for you and you didn't have to set up. You can also save these as we're looking at it. Each one, once, as you can see, if you look at the file names right here, credential master was my master, and then it adds -1 to it. So let's say, for instance, they sent you a file with one guy's name spelled wrong. You can still save this as an InDesign file and go back and change your one, save it, and export just that one page. All right, so the PDF is done. There you go. You can send this to whoever your printer is, print this out, get everything done. All right, if you got any questions, get at me on Twitter, at Manck, M-A-N-C-K. Hopefully this is useful, and hopefully I didn't screw anything up. Thanks a lot, guys.